Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nitro Racing League Network podcast. I'm your host, Matt Chafee. Joining me today is Karma and Mahoo. We got the Matt cast once again. Episode 8 of the podcast series, and we just finished up Russia in F1 and Dover in NASCAR. It's another weekend of Mahoo dominance. Once again. Mahoo, congratulations on your, at this point we just stop both series. You might as well just take the trophy at this point. I don't know what else to say.
At least there's a reset in the Cup Series.
Yeah, at least we get that. Russia was interesting of a race. The rain, I think, helped some, didn't help others. Didn't help me and Bacon's dumb luck we keep getting into. But a race, so to speak. I feel like that's every week. I don't really know how to describe any of our races anymore. Mahoo, I don't think you really have much to say from Russia, other than pulling away an early lead in the rain. I should state, and I know for the rest of the field, I felt like more like a wild card event because of the rain. And well, Karma, I want to talk to you first. How did your race go?
Well, not good.
Yeah.
I rear-ended you.
Yeah.
I hit a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like I drove into a wall. Destroyed my floor. Yeah. That's a good that's a good summary.
Good summary. 7th, considering we had 12 of us there. Anyone DNF? I think Shaman.
No
one DNF'd. Okay.
No.
We had a couple or at least one VSC.
Yes, two.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, a fairly clean race, so to speak, in terms of safety cars. I mean, I feel like the past handful of races have been sort of safety car fests, or there's been a safety car for some situation. But thanks for the diffuser damage, because that totally helped me.
No problem.
All race long. It was weird with that damage. I mean, I was fine. I was fine in sectors 1 and 2, and by the time I got to sector 3, just the really slow corners, I couldn't take them without struggling with the handling of the car. But yeah, I mean, at least it was just diffuser damage. You were battling car damage in general. I think Puck also.
No, the floor damage was at the end.
Oh, okay, very end, yeah.
After I broke my wing.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know how much room it was going to give me, and I went onto a curve and there went the entire damn floor.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I know we were talking about just prior to the podcast, or starting it here, but I know you had mentioned you just missed the braking when you were behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about Bacon dive bombing me.
Which makes sense. It doesn't help. It was
far back.
It was still in the rain though.
Yeah.
And it's hard to judge braking. I feel like in the rain, I can't judge braking points to save my race. But I had a mega start at the beginning though, which was awesome. I think I started 7th or something like that, and wound up passing at least 2 cars, and maybe challenge.
Third by turn 1. But turn
okay.
2.
Okay. So I passed more than I thought. What presets did you guys do?
I was originally going to do 2, but I did 3 and then took wing out.
Okay. What about you, Mahoo?
I ran a 2 as well. Or not as well, but I ran a 2.
Anyways, yeah. I think...
I thought the rain would have been a little longer.
Yeah.
But even in the rain, I was like... Because you were on 2, weren't you, Jeff?
I was on 3.
Why were you faster on straightaways?
Draft.
But
I was able to get good corner exits too.
I thought the rain was going to be a little longer than it was, and apparently the track was dry.
It dried up way faster when the rain
It was
stopped.
dry.
Too.
It was dry when it was raining.
Yeah.
Which I've seen a few times in this game, which is just bizarre.
Yeah, just how it works. I mean, had the race been a little bit more damp and we were maybe on the wet tires, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But no, yeah, I told Bacon when we saw the rain, I told Bacon, let's just play it safe on preset 3. And whether or not the track dried up or not, I also, when testing, just felt way more comfortable on 3. Even though it didn't have the speed, I just usually like that extra security. I think setup 3 might have saved me with the diffuser damage, though, had I been maybe on 2 or another preset, or whatever preset we were going to do for that race. I forgot.
2 was pretty slick.
Yeah.
It wasn't the funnest thing. Well, at least for me, like in testing, it wasn't the funnest thing to drive, but it was just so much faster than 3.
Yeah, and it was inconsistent. Like if you didn't get a hold on the setup, for me, I just felt like every corner was inconsistent. Like I'd either turn in too early or too late. It was just kind of all over the place. But yeah, you weren't the only one that ran into me. Puck also ran into me, and I think it was like
that's just tradition.
That's just tradition at this point. Yep, it's just it's not a Nitro F1 race if Puck and I don't collide. But yeah, I think it was like almost like the same place in the track that you had hit me as well. It's like he just completely misjudged the braking and ran into me, and I don't think it worsened my diffuser damage, but yeah, that won't happening. The end for us in Alpine was a bit rough because I know Bacon was trying to battle Puck to keep, what position would that been? To keep 4th place, and Puck wound up edging him out at the end. So that was a bit frustrating from our side as from the team, and I tried backing off a bit so he can get DRS. I still felt like I shouldn't have helped him because I think he would have been better off in clean air. I think like with having the wing damage he had, and had I been like within the second I was around the track, I think he was even slower. So, but I mean, it was what it was. That was just the cards we were dealt with there. So not much we could do on that end. But I did realize as well that with Puck finishing 4th in that race and Mahoo finishing 1st, you guys have passed us. If you guys hadn't already done that last week, you guys have passed Alpine up in the standings.
They're 1.9.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you guys are above us in Alpine. So it's still a fairly close constructors battle, which I think is something we're going to see till the end of the season. I don't think that's going to be definitive, really, until the last handful of rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rain kind of helped with that race, considering there's not many Russia races I remember that have been sort of, and not really exciting, but just enough going on, really. There was enough going on throughout the field that kind of spiced things up, but otherwise it was fairly tame race, so to speak. But I'm deathly afraid for Monaco next week. I don't know about
but before
you
we talk about Monaco, I need to ask Mahoo a question. And that is, do you ever get bored in F1?
Oh, no. You can't be, because once you get bored, that's when the mistakes start piling up.
Really?
That's something I've noticed. Or like, you just take your mind off hitting your marks and you just hit a wall or miss an apex. Something I've noticed.
Can you do that next week?
I hope not with Monaco, with how tight the lines are in that track.
Yeah.
Something I can't afford next week, actually.
Why?
The constructor battle. You just brought that up.
Yeah, well, I don't want that to be. I want you need to have a bad one.
Nah, but
Hey, fun fact: you haven't won 3 in a row this season.
perfect opportunity to change that, in my opinion.
What are our
It's about
stats for Monaco from previous seasons?
I think Andrew's won the last 2. Then I won the one before that.
Yeah. Very first one was won by Andrew. Second one was won by Demon. I won season 4. Season 5 was to
Gary.
Gary in season 5 and 6.
Gary.
7 is Gary. He hadn't gone on to win. He went on to win the championship the first 2 seasons. I got it from him season 7.
Yeah, or just because he's work cucked him.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a fairly dominating, like pretty much every attempt he made, he won. So it should have been his. You won season 8. Andrew season. Oh, I'm sorry, not Andrew. Or wait. Yeah, Andrew season 9. And that was such a weird season because he showed up for like race 2 and 3 and then showed up at Monaco. Kind of stole that from us. And then last season was also Andrew as well. So yeah, at the moment, everyone who has won a Monaco race except for me and you, we're like the only 2 active drivers who have had a Monaco win. So it's up in the air. I don't see how Mahoo couldn't get the win there, but it is such a different racetrack compared to everything else.
Well, thank God we're not gonna have an MJ train at Monaco for the. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my heart is like up in spirits. Sorry, MJ, but like you being 3 seconds off the pace is not okay.
No. Yeah, the race is going to be one off of qualifying, I feel. I mean, you can only do so much strategy.
Mahoo beat us by a second again, and that'll be end of that.
Hey, you just hope. I mean, this is the first Monaco race we're going into with sim damage, right? So I mean, like anything could happen. Honestly, I'm afraid it's going to be a safety car fest because of how just brittle these cars can be with sim damage. So that might be enough to shake things up, but or rain. God forbid we get.
I mean, all that matters is Monaco's finding a way to get track position. So
yeah, yep. That. I mean, I don't know if setup is obvious or not. I've yet to run laps, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I don't think. I mean, I guess it matters. But
yeah, I mean,
I think it's kind of obvious which one everyone should be picking, but
yeah, well, maybe
there's 2 up for grabs.
I was about to say, like, I feel like this entire season so far, there's been races where I've gone into a race, Bacon and I worked on a setup, and it's totally not the same setup everyone else has ran. And there's a handful of races where that. Like, it just didn't work for us, but then even like I can't think of a couple that we've done so far, but like there'll be some that runs, one setup and ones that run another, and it's like if we had not mentioned that, a lot of us would not have maybe realized that just for how the outcomes of the races have been or who have been battling.
Yeah, me and Gail should have been quiet after Singapore.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys shouldn't be bringing up setup talk.
No, we definitely besides Mahoo on that one.
Played dangerous.
We pulled a sneaky one on everyone on that one.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about after Monaco.
Oh yeah, when 2 cars finish.
Yeah, if it gets down to that. So yeah, that was that.
I wonder if anything causes floor damage there.
There's 1 turn. It's like in the last sector. It's.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, it's after
the right left chicane.
It's after pool, isn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. kind of gonna be real bad.
And it's gonna be risky because with regular corner cutting, everyone's gonna want to just cut through the corner. But yeah, I think
Not worth it, man.
it's not gonna be worth it. Yeah. So yeah, you're
even if you're in the lead, and you have floor damage, I don't know if it's gonna matter too much.
Mm-mm. Yeah, if you're able to keep everyone behind you,
because you can't pass.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to pass is pulling some heroics.
Yeah, or being in the right place, right time, DRS down the front stretch. But even then, I think we go so fast on the front stretch that DRS is just so not effective. That or into what's that chicane out of the tunnel called?
I don't know.
I forget the names of the corners.
But that's one, yeah. But like even then, that's like heroic.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with sim damage, Jesus.
Oh, and the worst is going to be the hairpin. I've never had luck in that damn hairpin at like once.
Oh my.
Someone, especially with this current car that just lacks downforce in general. I don't know like turning capabilities of this car at Monaco, but
I mean at that speed, downforce don't matter.
Downforce doesn't matter. It's just who takes it correctly. I mean, probably the smart way to take that hairpin is to use up all the curb, but then you gotta still kind of arc it in wide. So yeah, someone like it's a guarantee. I could bet $50 on at least 2 people on lap 1 getting their wings broken off in that hairpin. It's just a given.
It's gonna be we're going for the world destructor race.
Pretty much. Like I said, it's going to be a battle of that. Safety cars, I'm assuming. Like I said, these cars are just going to break on us because of sim damage. So, and you might as well throw the rain into that.
We've definitely had way too many rain races at Monaco.
Yeah. Are we doing this race in day, or are we going to do it at night like we've done the past?
We've been doing it at night. We'll do it at night.
Night again? Okay. Yeah, I kind of like when we do
that. If I remember.
Yeah, if you remember, yeah. I
remember to set it.
I like when we do it at night. Like, and that's
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of the video game. Like we've all kind of grown up with all the NASCAR games doing that with fantasy tracks and doing like night combos at tracks that normally don't. So it's cool that they added that feature. So yeah, we'll see how Monaco turns out for F1 next week. I have no idea if Gary and Jay are going to stream it.
I don't know, man.
But we will see if they do that, or and I might as well plug it in as well while we're here. Right? Are they even going to stream Nitro iRacing?
Oh, interestingly enough, Gary is not. He's actually going to race.
Oh, okay. Well, so we don't have anyone streaming.
I'm gonna guess that I haven't asked Jay, but I'm gonna guess that might mean Jay's going to race too.
Jay's going to race too. How much money does Frozen charge for streaming races?
We don't have enough people, and I'm not gonna pay her that much.
Okay, never mind. Anyways,
we can get into iRacing after the cup race. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
That's gonna be a thing we're gonna have to start talking about.
We will see. Yeah, iRacing's definitely gonna be once we're done on the heat side of things, it's gonna be the main thing. So
thank God.
Yeah, thankfully. Alrighty. Alright. Enough talking about iRacing and F1. Let's talk about this Dover race. I'm heartbroken.
We had a caution.
We had out of a 200 lap race, we had 1 caution on lap 1. Out of all laps.
And it went green all the way.
It went green the entire race. I was not expecting that one bit. What was the caution for again?
Bacon and someone else.
I mean, it didn't matter. It's lap 1 at that point.
I was expecting a few. I was expecting a few that race, but nope.
No, didn't get them. Yeah. Considering we had, it was a smaller field. We had 14 start?
Well, that was plenty to have chaos at Dover.
It is, but that's numbers down compared to the rest of the season so far. So.
Oh, don't worry, we'll make up the quota this week.
Oh gosh, yeah. But yeah. yeah, but besides that caution, race stayed fairly green. It was
I had the worst first run I have ever had in my entire career, I swear.
Yeah, like, what the heck was happening to you?
It was not a vibe. The car was no bueno.
Not the vibe.
No.
Was it setup wise, or you just couldn't get in the rhythm?
I don't. Probably both. I basically threw the kitchen. I changed every single thing on the first piss up besides grill tip. I changed.
Wow.
It was a lot better after that. I was just as fast as you and Mahoo and Jonathan for most of the race after that. And then the last run, I just phoned it in.
Yeah. Yeah, you were so far back at that point that it just didn't really matter. I mean, you finished what, third?
Fifth.
Oh, fifth. Okay, I gotta look up our freaking standings because yeah, and I felt like that. Like I got so used to our setup, at least for the Fords, or what I decided to choose, was like I just adjusted one thing on the car, and that was the setup. Like I was just got to run with what you're given. But it was an interesting race up front. It was not expected going into the race. Considering that, like after that first caution, the lead pretty much, I vaguely remember it. I mean, it was between myself. Even was the one leading at the time. Mahoo, I think, had made a couple mistakes, so Mahoo wasn't really there at the point. The frustrating thing for me is that I couldn't get a handle of the car like the first 3 or 4 laps after the pit stop, or even on that restart after the caution on lap 1. And it wasn't until the tires started wearing out where I finally had pace on even. But I just couldn't pass them. Like it was just either you're on the bottom or you're not. And the bottom was really the only place you could be to like keep the car under control. Like you could try the high side. But high side was only good like if someone got into your inside, and try to use the high side off the exit of the corners. But yeah, it was an interesting race between me and even up there. And like the pit cycle games were kind of all over the place with where people were pitting and whatnot, especially since I think Libert and someone else were trying to go really long, maybe in hopes of a caution, just put the rest of the field at least a lap or 2 laps down, trying to grab that caution.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the end yet. I want to hear from Mahoo's point of view, because you were also up in the mix. Kind of what were you think? What was going through your mind with the pit stop strategy? You seeing like me and Even battle, and I know you maybe had a couple others to battle, like Kyle or others early on. I just want to hear how your race went for the most part.
Yeah. So I started on pole, and then I got a few laps under my belt, and then I made a lot of mistakes, unfortunately, and that drew me back to like 4th or 5th. So I resorted to like just going out super long. It only helped because you and Even were playing that like pit with 5 laps to go and like fuel or something, short pit, get the undercut. So I guess that kind of took an advantage to me in the late run, which was my car was weak on how I was behaving. So it wasn't really a long run car. It wasn't a short run car. It was a mid run car for like 20 laps. It was not the most fun to drive, but with strategy wise, my plan was just to overcut as much as I could to try and give myself a chance in those like laps where I knew my car was feeling good, and it kind of paid off, surprisingly.
Paid off well. It was incredible how, like, I think I would overcut Even by at least a lap or 2, and Even would pull out to maybe a 1.5 second gap over me, but I would close that up by like halfway through the fuel run, or a little bit prior to halfway through the fuel run, which is about 38, 39 laps or something like that, somewhere around there. So yeah, like the tires meant so much from like when you pitted. And then by the time, and yeah, because like you had overcut, by the time you had pitted and by the time I had caught Even, you had already caught up to us, because Even was holding me up on his worn out tires. I couldn't pass him to save my life. And then you were already right there in the mix. So any advantage we might have had pace wise was gone. But yeah, and I felt that way too. I felt like there is a point in time where I think I pitted a lap or two sooner than what I should have. And I didn't get the same effect when trying to catch Even, just because our tires are fairly the same. But yeah, I mean, he finally made a speeding or a pit road mistake by speeding, so that helps.
You know what? No, I need direct confirmation from Mahoo. How do you feel about that speeding penalty?
We won't get into that.
What might have caused the speeding penalty?
No.
Okay. Well, anyways,
and put a nice grin on my face. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I was happy he sped. I mean, he was like.
Well, he 100% would have won if he didn't.
I think so. I mean, what bothered me, like I said, what bothered me was just like I couldn't pass him. I felt like if I passed him early on in the stint, maybe I would have had a chance. But I got so disappointed at one point in the race when I was behind him. Like I was on his bumper, and then Karma, you're on the comm and you're like, Even, I'm catching you by such and such a lap. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm being held up by him who's leading, and he's not even like
I was super
as
fast on the short. I was super fast on the short run. I had like whoever was leading like in the middle part of the race on the short run, I'd gain like a second.
Man.
Oh, yeah. First like 15 laps.
Tires are so good early on.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was so weird because like for both of you guys off of the pit stop, did you guys like get into a rhythm immediately, or did it take time?
My car did not get in the rhythm. Specifically corner exits, which Dover and these games, I mean, that's how I usually is.
Yeah.
It was weird because it took longer than usual when I was expecting. It took about 10 laps for me to stop getting that snappy corner exit.
Okay.
It was just weird. I had to blip the throttle ever so slightly, and that just scrubs off a lot of exit speed I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it took me about. It was basically as soon as after I made my first adjustments, I found my my rhythm, and I think it's a little different than what others were doing because I was entering really low.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, all race long, I pretty much try my best to stay in the bottom. I think my handling situation was the same as Mahoo. Like those like the first 5 or 6 laps. I mean, it'd be as long as like 6 laps after the pit stop. I still couldn't get into a rhythm, and like I only like as soon as the tires encroached upon like 80% wear, that's when I started feeling comfortable. And then from there I could run consistent lap times and like try to drive down the guy in front of me. So, and I feel like I lost a lot of time. I mean, there was at least 2 times where I hit the wall pretty hard on exit, and it cost me like at least 3 or 4 tenths maybe. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. There was a few times I hit the apron and got kind of scared because I hit the apron in practice and spun out instantly. So I was glad that those few times I did hit the apron and didn't spin out. But yeah, I couldn't get a grip of the car until it wore in, and Yeah, I just really like long run cars. So, which I think helps me at Dover, considering it is definitely a rhythm track, and you have to hit your mark every single lap. But I do want to talk about the end. Because this has been so far a season of Mahoo dominance. And the fact that I was one car length behind you at the line was impressive on my end. I was, I mean, I don't think, I mean, when the race finished, impressive was not the first thing that came to my mind. More or less disappointed. I was disappointed when you finished second there. But I was curious, Mahoo, as to why you pitted earlier than you normally have had. Like, I felt like you would have won that race had you maybe stayed out past when I pitted. And that's what it was leading up to the final pit stop. I would pit and then you would pit maybe 2 or 3 laps after, but you decided to pit much earlier than me, I think by like at least a lap or 2. What was going on through your mind for that pit stop? Like, I think I know why, but I just want to hear from you.
Yeah, so with that overcut pit game throughout the whole race, eventually got me like second ahead of you, I believe.
Yeah.
I was encroaching that territory where my car, like the last 10 laps, just the snap on corner just kept coming up. So I was like, I'm going to give myself 30 laps because that'll give me the 10 laps I have to blip the throttle, and then the 20 laps my car actually feel good. And that'll just get you through the end. Plus, I'm undercutting, which will give me more time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just more of a pit game, really, but I don't know what other decisions brought me, but it was just a pit game in my mind. I don't know what other options would have me.
I mean, I think you played it safe, considering pitting early would see you pull. I mean, it helped that you were in front of me when you had made the pit stop. So that just increases your lead on me even more. But I didn't feel like it was worth it coming to the end of the pit or the tire run and the fuel run. Because I was like, considering I think you were like a second, like 1.3 seconds ahead of me by the time I had exited the pits. And had I not had to pass at least 3 cars who were a lap down, and the fact that I was like a car length behind you, I'd like, had there not been those lap cars and maybe had I not made a few mistakes on that stint, I felt like I maybe would have been able to clear you like with 2 to go or something like that. So, because I just felt like, yeah, if you do the overcut, it's going to be better. I don't know if I overcut it too long as well. I mean, I went like 2 laps after you would pit, thinking that, hey, I just need the tires at the end. I'm going to drive better if I have a handling in the car. So yeah, I thought that was just interesting. I mean, like I said, it still paid off for you at the end, but I just thought, we had been going, or at least you had been going long all race, and, your consistency was definitely better near the end. So I thought that would have maybe played to your hands a little bit better there. But yeah, well, I finished second. I really liked Dover. I mean,
I really do.
I mean, what are the stats at Dover?
I don't know.
What are our cup stats at Dover? We have a stats thing for tracks, right? We have like all wins or most wins at tracks.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit outdated, but
No, it's up to date.
Oh, it is up to date.
Yeah, it's just really small. Andrew has 3.
Andrew has 3. I have at least. Oh, I just have 1. That's unfortunate.
I think everyone's at one. Besides Andrew, so.
Yeah. I've got win Sawtooth won in season 3, Durham won season 5. Gary Owen won 8, you won 9, and Even won 10. And that makes a new winner. Don't. Or no. What?
Oh, that was funny. That ground was for something.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was pretty funny. I wonder why that was why Mahoo did that. But, oh boy, we basically hit the halfway point of the regular season after this next week.
Right.
And we're gonna go to a wild one. So.
Yeah, Michigan's up. What's the draft setting for Michigan?
I'm leaning towards high for the lulz.
I hate you.
Why?
I'd like it to be none.
No, you don't want.
We saw season 9.
We don't want that. You want zero passes to happen?
Yeah.
No.
I'd like it to be tame. I'd like it to be based off of speed and not drafting.
It's track position.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard when the window of like speed really isn't any greater between one or another driver there. So
yeah, when there's no off throttle time. So.
Yeah, I get it. So Michigan's next week. Yeah, closing on
complete chaos incoming.
Sure, complete chaos. Once again, follows up Monaco. I mean, just a recipe for disaster. Our luck at Michigan has also been pretty interesting, considering I named one of the Michigan races the We Broke Michigan 400. So I mean,
Mahoo said he was exercising demons at Dover. I've got my own demons to exercise at this track. So
yeah. And how are you and Even getting along, by the way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I think half of it's just just screwing around, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Your other two teammates sure don't like each other after what happened in general chat.
I don't know.
Why can't they all be like Jeb?
I guess that was happened when you have 2 hotheads on your team.
There you have it. So yeah,
that are still young.
Still young, yeah. The inexperienced,
I guess.
So yeah, so that's it from the weekend.
You know what happens this weekend though? iRacing.
iRacing comes back. Yeah. Yay. Well, hopefully we get a good turnout. I mean,
hope so.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I know. Soon we'll increase it by 1.
Oh yeah, soon we will. Yeah. An estimate, Mahoo?
Not a clear one yet.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be soon, but
I mean, like within this like upcoming season. Do you think like end of the season?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we'll.
I mean, he's got the GPU.
Okay. I mean, that's big step number 1 there. So, yeah, I think it'll help. I mean, once the Heat series ends, iRacing will probably pick up a bit more. So be able to put more focus on it.
No one has announced their teams yet.
Well, maybe someone should make a post saying, "Make your teams."
I said you can make teams.
And
it was in announcements.
It's in announcements. Do I? Also, you can make up to teams of 4 drivers. Okay, well, maybe I'll remind people maybe I'll start making voice chats in the iRacing chat, and then for teams, and then
Yeah, I
be on our way.
suppose.
Yeah.
But iRacing at Daytona and Xfinity, I'm gonna push some people.
It's gonna be fun.
Bonk them.
Xfinity cars are great at super speedways. It's gonna be.
Wow.
It's gonna be good.
I hope.
Now push isn't like push me to the lead or wreck them.
Oh, whoever I'm pushing is going straight to the front.
Okay.
I push with little mercy.
Yeah, as I've seen in a lot of the G lobby stuff and other races. So as always, Karma will be a threat at the super speedways. We'll see how everyone else does then. If Gary streams, tune in his channel. If not, then tune into one of us who streams.
Me.
Yeah, Karma. So you could do that. And that's that. So yeah, thanks again everyone for watching or listening, really. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, even though haven't posted in like 4 weeks. But
Just
you could follow the Twitter anyways.
Mahoo like 10 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'll fill up all the mistakes.
Gotta promote the different schemes, man.
Yeah, the 2 that you have?
3.
Oh, 3. I'm sorry, 3 schemes. Don't tell me the third scheme is the one with the number on the quarter panel.
Oh no, I would never do that to you.
Okay, good. All right, so that'll be it from us. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next week in the Nitro Racing League Network podcast.
Nerds.
Bye.